Porsche made an OEM hood insulation pad for the Cayenne that wasn't meant to be installed on models newer than 2004, and I did it anyway. If you have a Cayenne, today I'm going to try and convince you that you should have installed this yesterday. In today's video, we're showing you where to get this ambiguous OEM hood insulation, confirming whether it's even compatible or not on newer models, speculating why Porsche made this, why they did away with it, showing what kind of difference it makes on a base model, pseudo-scientifically measuring its noise levels, and covering results before and after. At the end, we discuss how we could have improved this experiment, OEM clips you can buy to DIY this in a cost-effective way, and discuss longevity. We recommend this pad because it significantly cuts down on extraneous noises and turns your SUV into a luxury cruise liner. Here is the part number for this elusive part. It comes with most of the clips required, but here's the part number for the OEM clips. More on the clips later in the video. The compatibility and information online and which models the part was included with is totally unclear, as well as the reasons. Per my research, it's intended mainly for diesel engines to combat noise and heat, but on parts sites, it's listed as compatible with the 2003 and 2004 Turbo, S, and base models. From what I surmise from perusing the threads, diesel models definitely came with it. Turbo models from 03 and 04 did as well, and base and S gasoline trims did not. I would be curious to know, so leave a comment below if your Cayenne, other years, came with this pad. Why was I researching this, and why this experiment? It's because I was looking up guides and saw the pad pictured, and wondered why my model didn't have it. I decided to guinea pig $200 of my own money for this channel and for science. Now, why the pad? From what I surmise, it's to cut down on heat and noise. As we will confirm later, noise is definitely improved. There are all these notches along the bottom here. Basically, this simply goes into these cutouts around the perimeter here. Super straightforward, nothing too complicated. So for example, there's this little opening here, there. That does not go on the hood latch. That goes right below it. Right here with these two slits and this opening. And then we can just, oh, this is so exciting. And since these have lateral adjustments, let's actually do these sides first. Middle outward, this clips in. Super easy. Turbo model parts for a non-turbo Cayenne. Cool, huh? And they're not even supposed to be compatible between these years. So now we can adjust a little bit. So this one's missing one clip. Borrow one clip. Like so. Now we get back to our noise test. Before and after the installation, I measured noise levels above the hood, in front of the hood, on the side, at the wheel wells, and inside and outside the Cayenne. With these measurements, we will see a measurable, but not significant drop in decibel levels. And although the drop is not significant, all subjective aspects of driving the Cayenne are much improved. The sounds of the exhaust from the hood are muted in a good way. The injectors are quieted. Rumbles from the front are cut down. Vibrations that would otherwise cause rattles are significantly cut down. As the data shows, at the hood, the noise level dropped by 2 decibels, in front of the bumper by 5 decibels, and did not drop at the wheel well. Similarly, inside of the Cayenne, in the driver's seat it only dropped by 1 decibel, 2 decibels at the center, and the rear passengers experienced 3 less decibels of noise. Even though the objective data points do not indicate a stark difference or drop in the noise decibel levels, all of the sounds are softened. Especially when cutting the engine, it feels more muted overall. I'm talking about this while it's fresh in my head. So on the graphs that we're about to show, there's not a huge decibel jump in the numbers, even though decibel is logarithmic, but we'll see. But it feels much more, a little bit refined, as if it takes a little bit of the edge off. They say these last about 10 years, so you be the judge of whether it's worth it to you to spend $150 to $200 shipped to have a much more overall refined impression of the engine. It does feel nicer. The whole experience is a little bit softer overall, which is nice. So if you want to upgrade your exhaust, have it sound nice in the back, while it doesn't rumble too much in the front, then it's nice. Cuts down significantly on the harshness of the exhaust, on all the deep rumblings of it. In a good way though. Makes it a lot more refined. I'm a fan. Even if I cut the exhaust or do the muffler mod one day, it keeps the noise coming from where I want it, from the rear, and it doesn't come in droning from the front hood area. This pad makes the Cayenne luxurious to drive. Furthermore, entirely subjective, you can hear your sound system better, and everything sounds cleaner with less background engine noise. This thread and other people confirm the effects of noise reduction. Now, why Porsche did away with it. From what I gather, Porsche probably did away with the pad altogether for cost reasons in the 957 facelift for the gasoline engine. There was another thread where people shared their experiences on that of older vehicles like the 928, where those hood pads would disintegrate and pose longevity concerns. After about 10 years, they fall apart in chunks and it's not a good time. I volunteered my own money for this video and for this experiment and have decided to try it anyway. This thread also says that on newer models, Porsche has made the stock waffle insulation better and last longer. I've set a reminder for 10 years from today and will make a follow-up video in 10 years' time on this channel to see how the hood pad has held up. At this point, it's such an improvement that I recommend buying this and replacing it every 10 years, even if it falls apart, because it makes such a wonderful difference. Since I drive a base model, I was not super concerned with the heating and insulation aspects regarding heat when installing this pad, since my research showed it was a more important issue on the turbo and diesel models. In hindsight, a good scientific experiment would have been to measure the heat without the pad, and then do it again with the pad on, and use a thermometer to see if there's a difference. I considered removing the pad after installation, but the clips went in so solidly that it felt like it was a one-way trip to install them without damaging the pad. However, for another video, I purchased a spare Boxster trunk lid approximately sized like the Cayenne hood, coincidentally. So here's my unscientific data after idling the Cayenne for 10 minutes with the Boxster trunk lid and 10 minutes with the pad installed, out of direct sunlight to get a more accurate reading of an inaccurate experiment. After performing this experiment, I confirmed a few degrees difference, but it's debatable whether direct sunlight is more damaging than engine heat, especially on dark colors like metallic black. This thread claims heat is very bad for the hood. You can, and absolutely should, do this on your own if you don't purchase this specific pad. If you buy these OEM clips, you can cut any hood insulation you would like as long as the holes line up and install the OEM clips. At almost $4 a piece, they are a bit pricey. The original pad came with 15 clips, and I needed to supplement that with one because it requires 16 total. You'll need 16 clips total to reliably hold the pad up, at which point the cost does approach the OEM pad. What do you think?
I can't even hear it.
Can't even hear the engine?
Is the car even on?
And then, can we do a sound test outside? What do you think of after? What are your impressions after?
It's really quiet.